Glory be unto the Most High, Father of creation. As Jah was from the beginning, is, and forever shall be, Jah word without end. Hail, Selassie, Empress Waizaro Menen I. My name's Rastafari Lojuron Jaden. I'm the chairperson of the Rastafari Society of Kenya, and also the a co-founder of the Haile Selassie Foundation, Kibra, for the last 29 years. And I'm an African by nationality. I love the environment. I'm a father. I love my wife and children. And also, I'm a role model in the Rastafari community in Kenya. Also a representative of the Rastafari Continental Council, which has its headquarters in Ghana, comprising of 37 African countries. Yeah, man. Today I'm happy to host my brothers from the K47 TV to come and be with us and reason, so that at least we can remove the stigma and the many mysterious questions that people are asking about the liberty of Rastafari. As I'm reminding you, Rastafari is a liberty. Is a non-political, non-religious, non-affiliated organization, and we don't take gifts that tie with strings. We are totally, self-reliant African people who depend on the knowledge of our ancestors, which is deeply rooted in our DNA and in our well-being and in our day-to-day life. Welcome, brother.
Thank you very much. So you said you are co-founder since 29 years ago. What necessitated you to start this foundation?
As I've said, Rastafari is a liberty that has been carried forth from the past, from the ways of our ancestors, and it has been released to us because every generation has its responsibility to deal with. You see, we found ourselves in a time whereby illiteracy, poverty, hunger, malnutrition, and ignorance is a major problem that affects our communities and our continent in this time. So it is our duty and responsibility as Rastafari to see on how we can be part of solution, because we know that we are custodians of this great Mother Earth that the Almighty has put us inside. So Rastafari is a continuous way of life, that enables us to fulfill, the prophecy that the sick be nourished, the aged protected, the infants be cared for, the hungry be fed, the widows, and above all, the ignorant too, be instructed. Give thanks and praises. Teachings of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie.
You've mentioned that Rasta is a liberty, yes, and in this liberty you must have pillars that guide you. So what are these pillars?
Yeah, man, majorly, Anna is guided by the major pillar of love, you see. Man must love himself for him to love his creator, for him to love his surrounding, for him to love his environment. So love is the basic ingredient that derives Rasta. And not only love alone, love has to come with equality and justice and a moral liberty. You see what I mean? So everything you do, you must look at it deeply. It must reflect, your conscience, you see? So Rastafari is basically about equal rights and justice, love and equality in the creation. Love for Mother Nature, love for the environment, love for each other, love for the Creator, love for the beauty of nature, and to be custodians, not to destroy the foundation of love. The way we see humanity is going today, there's something wrong, because there's so much rumors of war, hatred, mistrust, corruption, inequality, and man have forgotten how to share, the basic necessities that has been put for us by the Almighty: food, clothes, shelter, fire, water. If we can only reflect back and learn how to do these things the right way, then the creation will be the best place for every one of us. This is what Rastafari is all about, to remind us that we have a responsibility. You know what I mean? Unless we want to destroy the most wonderful gift that the Almighty has given us by the nuclear war that we hear every day, small arms, and the hunger and starvation, we must use our intelligence as humans to correct these mistakes and start it all over again with the foundation of love, equality, and justice. IRIE, Selassie the First, yes, sir, Rastafari. Yeah, man.
Yes, and in living with love, you said love is the biggest of pillars. Yes, the people out here do not happen to know this. There is a misconception about Rasta, including the system itself. When they see you with dreadlocks like Iman, or if they hear you're a Rastafarian, there is always a negative connotation to how they address you and how they react to you. What do you think is the cause of this?
Yeah, man. A people without knowledge of themselves is like a tree without its roots, So it is important for you to know where you're coming from, for you to understand where you're going, you see. And as black people, have been through great tribulation. As you remember what happened to our ancestors from the year 1564, the 400 years of brutality in which black man was belittled to an object of bargain and sell, all over the world. I'm talking about the period of the slavery, when Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama discovered the route through India and South Africa through the monsoon wind and started taking our forefathers as commodity in the slavery era. You see what I mean? This really mixed up our social way of life as black people, because very well civilization sprang from the great river Nile to the rest of the world. You see what I mean? We are the people who taught the world how to read and write, mathematics and physics, and the culture of agriculture and many other cultures. This is proven even up to today. If you go to the great walls of the ancient Egyptian, pyramids, you'll find our writings of our ancestors as a proof that we ruled this world, but we ruled it without cruelty. You see what I mean? There was no prisons, there was no hospitals, there was no single book that we needed to read so that it can guide us on how to live a basic, healthy social life, until the time when this was disrupted by slavery, by 400 years of pain and misunderstanding, which has led later on to colonialism and to the Berlin Conference, which is the neo-colonialism that is, as a result, is what we are seeing today. The ghetto, the lack of food, the lack of nutrition, the lack of self-value, you see. What we are seeing today, the behavior of our people is a result of this mistreatment and misunderstanding that we have gone through as a race and also as a people for many years. So Rastafari is coming as a new race, because His Majesty taught us and said that for the things and the situation which we are going through today as a people has no counterparts in the human history. Men search for solution in pages, in books and in schools, but they don't find solution. Where are we to look for solution for the problems that affect us today? His Majesty say we must go deep within ourselves. We must be courageous enough. You know what I mean? We must be humble. We must become members of a new race, owing our ultimate allegiance not to nations or families, but to the entire human community. Because when you look at us from the satellite, we are only, or from the iBird view, we are one family. You know what I mean? One human family. This is what His Majesty say. Not until the color of a man is of no more significance than the color of his eye. IRIE, Selassie I the First, Jah, Rastafari. Give us the teachings of His Majesty, because we not want no devil philosophy. Rastafari live it and reign it. Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, man.
So you've said, you've talked about giving the teachings. So how do you pass this information from one generation to another? Because if you've been here for 30 years, I have seen some of the artists who have been brought up through this system. And first, I appreciate you, and I give thanks for transforming them to harnessing their skill and to be self-sufficient with what they are doing.
Rastafari.